How's it going, everyone? How's it going? This is Deonte Burton, and welcome to Changing Lives. Happy Thursday, everyone. We got a super exciting show. Hope everybody's out there trying to stay dry and being safe on the roads and everything. We had a fantastic this past week, and we have an awesome show planned for you guys also. Today's show will be asking the question, how the hell do you know? We'll go a little bit more in depth with that in a second. You know, as always, the beginning of the show, we're going to recap the previous week and stuff that's going on in my somewhat exciting life. Let me tell it and everything. But number one, I'm going to give a shout out to my baby boy, Will B. His basketball team, they just won a semifinal game a little while ago, so they're going to the championship game, Clayton County Park and Rec basketball 8 and under basketball game, this championship game this Saturday and everything. So I'm super excited about that. So a big shout out to the 8 and under Celtics from Clayton County, the B-ball team.
All right.
Yeah, you got a teammate named Splash. Man, shit. This brother be hitting it from everywhere on the court. Yeah, everywhere on the court.
That's why they call him Splash.
Man, he's something else, man. The little joker took his shirt off at the end of the game
Really?
the other night. I said, man, he full of shit, boy. But nah, big shout out to them. Again, I am also an accountant by profession and also the owner of Majestic Business Services. We're a business service firm and one-stop shop for small businesses. And we are in the beginning of tax season, so want to kind of bring up a couple things regarding the tax season. A lot of people just got that initial release in returns of the earned income credit. Now, that information, I know a lot of people was asking, what's going on with my refund? What's going on with my refund? It's going to go back to a point I'm getting to in a second. The IRS let all us accredited preparers know back in November 2018 that there was going to be a delay where anybody with an earned income refund or some more intricate refunds would be delayed till February 27th. Okay? So now if you use Turbo, a Tax Act, or one of those ones you do initially by yourself, you wouldn't be privy to that information. But a lot of times, that's why I kind of equip people when you go into some of these fly-by-night places, they don't necessarily know. So that's why I want to kind of get people to understand what was going on with those delays and everything.
Is that because of IRS is checking to make sure those dependents that you put on there are yours? Is that might be why they're delaying it?
Now, you got to take consideration what's the IRS has been trying to do for the past 2 years. Everything getting more and more automated.
Okay.
So again, just kind of give you explain what happened the past 2 years. Employers had to the 31st of March to get to let the IRS know, send all the W-2s. Because when you get a W-2, the IRS gets a W-2 also. So you get a copy and the IRS gets a W-2. And they would match it up just to say, but you would give an opportunity to file before they receive the W-2 from your employer.
Okay.
So as an added security measure, since we're in a more electronic age and everything's digital, employers have to the 31st of January to make sure you have a W-2 or a 1099, and also the IRS has the W-2 or 1099.
Okay.
So now since we have, they have all these digital capabilities, they're just verifying it right then and there. As before, they will have that delay where it will go, they will wait till the 31st of March, but you just had the whole time. So that's why you would get a letter from the IRS, maybe August or something like that, or maybe September. Hey, we don't have something. You have a mismatched W-2 on your tax return.
Oh, okay.
Please give us a call, with that and everything. And that was, the initial alert. But that goes back to the thing I was talking about, getting somebody accredited, because I see, and I was just talking to you a second ago about this. I never talk about nobody's business.
Right.
But this is when it's, we're going to get you a big refund. We get you the max refund stuff blow up in your face. Because when you get that letter, and they saying you're audited, or, hey, we got a question we need to recall, and you call your tax man or your tax lady, and you get the do-do-do, and then you call back, and you get another do-do-do, and you're like, shoot, man, that phone off or something. Then you go by the office, and you look in the window, and it's bare in there. And you sitting there like, oh, Lord. IRS talking about I owe them $10,000.
Right.
I don't know where the tax man at. And you
Yeah.
SOL all the way. And it happens all the time. So I never try. I know everybody's situation is unique, and I know everybody, have different issues, what comes up. But that's one of the things you don't need to play with.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and everything. And I see it happen every time, you know. But that's, you know, and there is no shortage of people out here, you know. You see the signs on the road, you can get you $2,000 with this and one dependent. And like I said again, they come back and blow up in your face because you this person who hooked you up in your taxes, and you get that letter from the IRS a couple months ago.
Somebody that hookup.
Man, hell, they're on the other side of the country, just got their ass and everything. Because, you know, a true preparer, it looks at it like this. At the end of the day, if I make a mistake in your return, I do a fraudulent return, and just say I'm charging you $200 to $400 for to prepare your taxes. The minimum fine on a preparer is $500 damn. So it doesn't, it makes no sense for somebody to try to hook your return up and get some money. And I'm going at the end of the day, if it backfires, it's gonna cost me more money.
That's true.
So be very careful. You know, I know it's more attractive if somebody can sit here and make promises to you about the kind of money that they can give you on a return. But again, you know, that's going to come back and bite you in the butt. So it's not really worth it to try to do that. So in the grand scheme of things, I would, advise anyone, make sure you get somebody credit to take care of your return. But if you have any problems with finding anybody credit, hey, just call Deonte Burden of Majestic Business Services, 678-479-4007. We will square you away. Next thing, want to let everybody know, my son, Torian, he's on a TF Sports. They're having a free boot camp for everyone March 16th. TAF Sports. Go follow him on Facebook and Instagram. Look up TAF Sports. Follow him there. You'll see the information in regards to the date, but it is March 31st. But you'll see in regards to getting the information about the free boot camp. So make sure you go to TAF Sports on Facebook and Instagram to get that information. And that's pretty much my week, So again, tax season is here. If you need any help with your taxes or any questions or anything like that, please feel free to give us a call at Majestic Business Services. Again, that number is 678-479-4007. Okay, everyone, we're going to go to our story. And like I said, this show is a show that's near and dear to me because in my life, I have never been at any shortage of getting free opinions and advice from people. And so, our show is titled in how the hell do you know? And, just if you think about it, I just look at personally, I've been in situations where you have some older family members, they, approach you and you say, hey, I'm finna go on to do this and step out here and do that. You have those people in your family that'll sit here and every time you say something, they have some kind of rebuttal.
Yeah.
Well, if you do that, you want to go in the army, you're going to get killed, or they put the black man on the front line, say, hey, I want to get into this field. Well, they out there hiring out. It's always something.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, a lot of time when we get this kind of advice from these people, it's usually people that's pretty influential to us, and I always say, we have people in our lives where I would say we have blind influence too, a blind influence on us rather. It could be a grandfather, a parent, a good friend, mentor. Well, we don't even question shit they say.
We just do it.
And what they say is law. And you sitting there listening to it because they fundamentally just saying something to you and with so much passion behind it, you ain't even question it. And sometimes you step back and you look at it like, okay, they give you all this advice, and you say, shit, man, when the hell did you encounter that? And everything. Because I've been in situations, you talk to people, and they giving you career advice or business advice and stuff like that, and you kind of, it kind of hinders you or holds you back for a couple of seconds. And you think about it like, how the hell you know about that, and everything. You never worked with the government before.
Oh,
you never had no business, or and you sitting there looking like, you don't want to be disrespectful or anything like that, but they just talking and just reeling out all kind of stuff, and you just kind of like, damn, you starting to think. Right. Because especially because those moments when you're really enthused about trying something, and everything.
And they want to knock it in. It's like it's always an issue with it.
Yeah,
It's like, I want to learn how to pluck chicken. Well, if you pluck them chickens, them feathers gonna stick in your hand and you're gonna get cut up, and you like, when did you pluck chickens?
and you might be a person that gets stuck. I might get damn stuck.
Exactly.
But and it's hard because so many people miss out on opportunities because they have those kind of experiences and those kind of encounters, and they hold themselves back.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to talk a lot about that today in terms of when people give you this advice, how to take it, and just you asking yourself, how the hell how what make you get these kind of experiences? Because I told my son the other day, and we talk about this a lot. In your life, you're never going to be at a shortage of giving people's opinions and advice. It behooves you to be able to know how to kind of decipher it, and that's why we're talking to everything with the show. Critical thinking and deductive reasoning is very, very important, and you have to be on top of your stuff to be able to know when you get somebody tells you something, how to sit here and process stuff on the fly. Because people can sit here, just say you go to the car dealership, or you want to go buy some appliances or TVs and stuff like that, and so we see the surface stuff, and everything, and then you got the salesman come over. Hell, you lucky if you get one to know a damn thing about anything.
Exactly.
And then they throw some information at you. Well, this is here's the 4K and this, that, and everything like that. And we want to know basic shit because, like, okay, why is this better? I know this is 300. I know this is 400. But if you tell me, hey, this is going to, cheaper over the long run as far as electricity, this has more strength for doing this, that, and that. That's the kind of stuff you be wanting to know. But when you have people just kind of just throw stuff at you, you're like, okay, that makes sense. But you ignorant to it.
Right.
And you just kind of like, shit, I just got to trust this damn stranger. And we really want to get away from that in life. And I know there are some situations where you're just not going to be able to process stuff on the fly or to do it. You might have just step back from the situation and say, man, give me a little time to kind of
think about
it and not rush this whole situation. But a lot of times you have to know when you're talking to certain people to be able to decipher that. And that's the basis of what we're going to talk about tonight with this show is, and in its most fundamental form, knowing how to distinguish the difference between a fact and an opinion.
Okay.
And
okay.
That's the thing about it, because we know that a fact can't be, disputed.
Right.
A fact is a fact. We can't dispute that at all. But what we have is so many people out here, they have a strong damn opinion. So I'm kind of like, the older folk tell you last time you lie so damn much you believe you lie. They believe their opinion, believe in it so much, there is nothing else. And they really don't know for sure. And sometimes it's not even the point of it. It's a lie that they believe in. It's just that they haven't looked deep to just test that theory or that opinion to see if it was another option.
Yeah.
It just might be the most, comfortable proposition at that particular point in time.
Their opinion becomes their facts.
Absolutely.
Their opinion becomes their facts. Their opinion becomes so embedded into what they're thinking and ingrained into what they think that it becomes their fact. Regardless if you have other facts to counteract their opinion, they still gonna say, well, that's because, and they're gonna go right back to their opinion because it's their fact.
Exactly.
When it becomes your fact, you see nothing else, you hear nothing else. Everything that comes at you is just gonna be, that person's opinion. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So somebody throwing something at you, you got an opinion that you have conceived as a fact, and someone else throws something at you, that's their opinion.
Yeah. And
it's not your fact.
Oh, absolutely. And the scary part about that is that when you have people like that, unfortunately, they can be people that care about you. They don't mean no harm, but you just don't question it. And when you sit there and they saying this stuff and they so damn passionate about some shit they really ain't for sure of, that can just throw you the hell all off. Yeah. And mostly, to be honest with you, it comes from, like I said, those people that are closest to us.
Yeah.
Man, I have some dealings with family members that and it's called strings because I know they don't know what the hell they damn talking about. What the fuck they talking about?
And you don't want to say what the fuck you mean.
Yeah, exactly. Shit. Once I passed 40, I gave a damn about a lot of shit. Man, what's it?
That 40 mark.
Yeah. That 20-year-old Deonte be like, okay. That 40, man, I don't hear that shit. Know what the hell you talking about? But, and, but, 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 those people, they know they have that kind of, like I said again, that blind influence on people. People just ain't gonna question it.
Right.
You know, like what my daddy say all the time, my grandmom say all the time. You be like, man, that shit ain't true. But my granddaddy we always say it all the time. Man, think about this. You know, and then when you start thinking, wow, you know. But what I want to do is I want to give everybody some strategies in terms of, when we're trying to process or know the difference between what's the difference between a fact and an opinion, to help you decipher that, because this is a critical skill in life, especially in the world. We're in a social media world. We got so much information and news that's accessible to us. You know, you hear folks talking all the time. I talked to a brother the other damn day talking about this shit with R. Kelly. And he was just like, yeah, this, that, and that, Kelly. Now, keep in mind, no matter what we are getting in regards to R. Kelly story, this is just, you know, opinion based, because everything is alleged. We don't know. Even if it goes to trial and stuff like that, some things, you know, we can't refute, you know, in terms of maybe if they know that person or don't know that person. But what happens, some stuff is just going to be opinionated. And his brother was telling me, like, man, the man broke, and, you know, they said this, that, and that. Now, again, I was sitting there like, man, he might not be broke. His money may be allocated somewhere else, or this, that, and that. I said, this is Deonte's opinion. And I'm just looking, I can't see the man being broke. He can't put $100,000 bail up. But what people missing is those damn attorneys he got gonna cost more than that $100,000.
Exactly.
So how the hell you can do that? So, and people don't look at that, because trust me, I know those legal fees are gonna be more than $100,000.
Exactly.
So the money is there.
They ain't doing it pro bono.
Exactly. Maybe he can want to post $100,000 bail because he owes all this money in child support. Don't want to show that income.
Bingo.
But people don't infer or process to look at it. Now, that's my opinion. I might be wrong, but I'm still looking at it. I'm about damn positive those legal fees are more than $100,000.
I think what people get confused is when their opinion that somebody's broke is that his broke and R. Kelly's broke is a lot different from my broke. And I'll give you a good example. Hammer was broke, but do you see Hammer anywhere around asking for handouts? His $50 million broke is different from my $50,000 broke. You get what I'm saying?
There you go.
It broke for them is just their money's tied up in other places. I mean, if I don't know how broke he is when he pulled up with a limo driver and a Mercedes-Benz Sprinter.
But you just think about it, and that's what you just said. That everybody looking at stuff just on the surface. But the thing of it is that, you know, I asked the brother, where you get that? What did you get that from? Facebook. What? You know what I'm saying? But you see how quick that social media and this ready information, it influences people.
And it does.
You know, and people don't take the time to think or process. And like I said, that's the core meaning of this show. I really want people to learn how to think. You know, people do not think at all. People react all the damn time. They hear stuff, they see something, and that's it. They don't try to look. They may look at, you know, just the surface, but dig in and know how to do it, you know. And I'm not even talking about doing some damn Sherlock Holmes on some stuff. I mean, just, you know, just having any kind of basic reasoning. Like I said, I just looked at the hell. I know the man, attorney fees got to be more than $100,000. And that's just me not even doing no research, but just, I won't say it's common sense, but I think it's common sense. But, and that's one of the things that I really want people to start using your mind. Not saying you got to have open debates, but just don't be so quick to just believe every damn thing you see, every damn thing you hear. You just have to think, because that's the problem why so many people don't have control of their lives, because they get information and they move on it instead of learning how to process. Okay, so I'm going to give you steps in regards to, remember, this is Deonte Burden. Our show is Changing Lives. Topic of our show is how the hell you know. And what I want to give everybody some tips. Also go to the YouTube channel. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. And when you're looking at those videos, always make sure you hit that blue man in the bottom right-hand corner. So I want you to make a conscious effort to always look for that blue man, that bottom right-hand corner. All my videos, subscribe to that channel. And please make sure you're telling everybody, leaving comments, good feedback. I want to hear everything you got to say about any one of our topics or any one of our shows, okay?
Somebody had a question on YouTube real quick.
Okay.
They wanted to know, do you work with people to help repair their credit?
As of right now, no,
to improve their credit.
As of right now, we don't have a system in place. We will by the summer. But what I do offer right now is consulting,
Mm-hmm.
because again, it may not, the credit may not be an issue. It may be your processes
Okay.
that may be the issue. So we have the links up for the booking a consultant appointment,
Okay.
you know, or you can go to the website www.majesticbiz.com. If you hit on the scheduling app or the calendar app on the website, the link will come up to book a consultant appointment. Book the consultant appointment, and once you book that, if it has to go any further than that, we'll credit that towards your invoice. But just go to the website www.majesticbiz.com. Go to the scheduling app and hit that, and you can book an appointment, or you can call us at the office at 678-479-4007. And if you miss anything as far as we give them the website and the phone number, don't worry. I'm going to yap it plenty more times before the show over, okay, and everything.
And that's a fact.
Okay, let's start it up. Let's start looking at how do we learn how to decipher what's a fact and an opinion. Number one, the first thing I think is the most important is just listening. Okay, when you listen to somebody, that's so important, because when people get in communication goes two ways: talking and listening. And too many times people all want to get their damn point across, and they never want to sit here and just receive what they're getting back.
Listen to respond.
Exactly. But if you make a conscious effort to listen, don't say a damn thing. Don't interrupt. Just sit here and just take in all the information that you're given. Make a conscious effort to do that, and everything. And sometimes when you're listening, a person is talking, some things can be taken certain ways if you're not for sure. Just say, hey, hold on for a second. And explain that what you mean by that. Because we want to make sure in the process of listening we're getting clarity. Because I don't want to get no information that I sit here like, damn, what do you mean by that? So listen with an active ear. Listen with an active ear. That you're trying to find out exactly what they saying. If they say something that you're kind of not familiar with, ask them. Sometimes folks may get bothered. Well, hell, this, that, and that. No. Don't worry about that. Because what you don't want to do is leave this conversation and you're not for sure. So if they get offended or they feel funny or touch your feeling because you starting to ask, and people do that. People do that and everything, because I do feel like a lot of times people that are secure when they feel like they talking to people, but when they get in situations where somebody is at their level or above, they get kind of uncomfortable. Or you question something, then they get uncomfortable. So don't worry about that. Make sure you ask for clarity. Use that active ear where you're trying to make sure you're pulling in all the information, and ask for clarity. Listen, what do you mean by that? Okay, I just want to make sure, because we have things that can be taken 2 or 3 different ways, and that, especially in the King's English, a lot of words that can be interpreted that way. So we want to make sure we will always want to get clarity on anything that someone is telling us. The second thing, you want to start processing it. When you're processing everything, you're looking at the information that you were just given, that you're trying to determine if that's a fact or not. So you're sitting there saying to yourself like, okay, he just said that. Is that possible? You just gave that opinion, in terms of, let's use what we just talked about, saying R. Kelly is broke and everything. How do you know for sure? You don't really have his bank accounts. You don't have this, that, and that. You're just going by a certain situation. Can't refute that. Like I said, some things that we know is a fact. He's a black male. It's 2 facts.
Right.
Can't dispute that, right? If he broke, we really don't know.
Both of us are throwing out our opinions. We said he not. You saying he are. We both don't know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you have to start kind of processing that to see here. And the way I look at it, the rule is, can it be refuted? Can it be refuted at all and everything? And if you don't know if it can or not, we're going to just leave it as an opinion. We were never going to. The only way we're going to sit here and look at something being a fact is we can't refute. We know we can't. Now, it still may be a fact, but we can't say it from the research that we can, or we can dig into it. We're just going to leave it as an opinion and just say, I don't know for sure.
Let me ask you a question. When
Sure.
processing, I think people need to understand that they should not process with their opinion already based as their fact. Because you can process something someone says and still come out with the same outcome that you had before they said it. You still can have your opinion still be based in, make it your fact, to where your process, you're listening, and you're taking it all in, and you're processing it, and you still come to the same conclusion that you had before they said anything, because you're using your opinion based fact as the catalyst to what you're hearing. You get what I'm saying? So
Totally.
like if you say this computer is green, and I already know in my head that it's red, you might be saying it's green, and give me the facts and and I'm processing, listening to what you said. But then at the end of the conversation, at the end of what you're saying, I'm gonna say, yeah, but it's still green, it's still red. You get what I'm saying?
Totally do. Two things. First thing, you have to know that with the person you're communicating with, if they're not gonna be open minded, having no kind of discussion, they just see one shit one way, you can't get no conversation with them. I mean, it just ain't gonna go nowhere.
You gotta walk away.
Yeah. One of my platoons used to tell me in the army, we can't fight losing battles.
Okay.
You know, we don't need to waste time trying to talk. If somebody's not going to be logical with you, they ain't going to be fair with you, they ain't going to sit here and, you know, listen to what you're saying, you're going to get them that respect. We know tons of people like that.
Exactly.
You talk to them, you say, let them say every damn thing they say. And as soon as you start talking, well, hold on, man, I didn't say a damn thing when you were talking. Give me that respect. Well, no. We can't talk like that. They go back to the communication,
right.
giving and receiving. And if you know that this person is going to, even if they let you talk, but if you know that they're not even going to listen, not hear, listen, well, they're going to take the information in, don't even get in that damn conversation, because you're wasting precious air out of your lungs. Because no matter what you say, they're not going to listen to you at all. The other thing is, and the issue of processing, you have to make sure that your mind is unbiased. You know, if I already got, like, I might already have a way that I'm looking at stuff in the way I prefer to do it. You know, Johnny could tell you, like, we was doing stuff at the office, putting some furniture together, and like she wanted to do a certain way, and I got my way. Okay, and I look at it like this: she ain't got to be there helping me putting this stuff together, so I need to shut the hell up, listen what she got to say.
Exactly.
And a lot of times, we always go in situations like, this is what we want to do. But you have to be open-minded to do it. You can't be going to stuff with a biased opinion. Even though it's in there, you have to sit here and subject yourself to say, look, let me just put my feelings or my opinions to the side and listen what this person got to say. Because, again, you know, it's not fair to that person. And again, even to your damn self, you wasting your time. If you sit here and say, no matter what, this is what we're gonna do, you have to take the consequences of that.
Right.
Excuse me, because again, you never know when you talk to people talking to you, and they can give you 10 points, 9 on straight BS. But that 10th one, damn, that light bulb that went off. Man, yeah, that's some good information. So people that learn, just shut the hell up and just put their personal opinions to the side and everything. And I tell you all the time, like, man, me being on all these boards and groups and stuff like that, and you got all these people supposed to be experts. And shit, man. I can't, motherfucker. I mean, you be sitting in there, you just can't, you know, everybody's so stuck on their ways. Like, well, hold on, man, hear the man out. Or let's try it. You know, and I know that's probably one of the things with me is, my kids come to me, daddy, well, like, son, you know, I know it'll be this way, but shit, try it.
Yeah.
What work for me, man, I'll work for you. What work for you, man, I'll work for me. Try it. Just don't, you know, kind of stay in bounds with some stuff. So to your point, when people see certain things, or you even doing it, you have a certain way, you have to make sure you're approaching the whole conversation with an unbiased ear. So that's a point we all have to make sure of, you know what I'm saying, no matter how passionate we are about that, because again, and it go both ways when you're talking that with people. You know, shit, we believe a lot of our opinions are facts because they're just really how we feel, and they, you know, that's our personalities, and we see them to be true. Right. And it kind of bothers us. We find out this shit that ain't how the shit is. Yeah. The hell you mean? And
I've been doing this for 42 years.
Exactly. So and that's just part of growing up and maturing, having to do that and everything. So like I said, I think that unbiased ear is probably the best way to approach that. Okay. The third thing is to apply it to the situation, and this is kind of difficult for a lot of people to do, because what works in one situation may not work in the other one. And just starting when you're in certain things, what may work in a job setting in terms of how people interact and talk to each other, and what may work, say, in a athletics setting, may be totally different. You can have a supervisor sit here and talk to you a certain way, hey, because you just want instructions, but it's not cool. They tell you to get your ass up and do this, that, and that, just speak all out of pocket to you in a rude way, But you might be in an athletic session, I'm never big on a coach cursing me, but I had no problem with a coach cursing. So if a coach, and that's probably one of the things a lot of my teammates give me a lot of flack about, because at 15, 16, 17, we had a coach that he'll call you MF or whatever, this, that, and that. I ain't no damn MF. Shit. And I'm talking about, hey, Poochie, you tripping. No. Now, I had no problem with get your butt up or get your A up and, what the H are you doing? I had no problem with that because I could hear through that. But again, the personal stuff will get, and like certain settings work in certain ways. And, a lot of times people look at, their personal opinion on certain things and think this is always the way it goes. I was thinking about, my kids run track, and I'm at the track meets, and you see sometimes the kids running. And you see this kid, he's running, and then the kid from out of nowhere come and pass him.
Right.
So the kid that got passed up, they're looking like, oh, you didn't try, you quit, let him. No, this motherfucker fast. No. I gave 150%,
right.
But my 150%, he going at 70. He just beat me.
Yeah, exactly.
But people look at it like your effort. You know what I'm saying? And that goes back to what I'm saying. We're talking about facts and opinion.
Right.
You looking at it and saying because this person got passed and beat, he quit.
Mm-hmm.
That's your opinion. But this person is giving full tilt effort,
and
they just got passed. And you go and you blast the person and say, well, listen, you got to give a better effort. You got to do this and you got to do that. You got to be mentally tough. Damn it, I tried.
That's it.
And everything. And sometimes, like I said, we're talking about, what's applicable to the situation. Like, you don't know. You can't gauge somebody's heart. I can't tell a lab being lazy or not.
Right.
I can't rate your effort. I can't rate your passion. I can't rate what you know. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times people are like, man, he don't know a damn thing. No, he very smart, but we done went into some stuff. We need somebody from NASA, and people are so quick to pass that kind of stuff. And like I said, again, from setting to setting, things change. And you can be prolific in one setting, and then another one, you totally damn clueless. That's what mess up a lot of men. When men are just like, we all ego based, and we get in a situation where, yeah, I got this, I got that. Then we put us in another thing we can't do with. A guy, he may be, a supervisor or leader at work, and then he get out there with his car, don't know what to do with his car, and then, say your woman or your wife around you, you don't know how to do that. No. And here come lab ass, hey man, watch out, man, I fix it. Then your wife say, thank you. Get your ass in the car. And that's how it go.
Yeah,
and
that's how it goes.
So, but that goes to about, that doesn't mean, he ain't shit. He don't know nothing about a car. No, he just didn't know nothing about a car. And that's why I say we have to kind of be very mindful of that, how everything from situation to situation.
Right.
Is that, so when we still deciphering, okay, when we're starting trying to process that and looking at, we're listening to the person, we're processing it, what's the situation? And everything. Because like 12 o'clock midnight, 12 o'clock noon, two old different things, but it's still what? 12 o'clock. And people just lose sight of that so much. So that's one of the things I want kind of people to make sure they kind of thinking about in terms of, what is it applicable to the situation. The last thing is, well, before I go into the last thing, again, this is Deonte Bird, and our show is Changing Lives. Our topic tonight we're talking about is how the hell you know. And we want to make sure we're going over different strategies and knowing how to process the difference between a fact and an opinion. The first strategy I gave was to listen. Do that, listen, practice active listening, process it while you're taking the information in, understanding what's a fact, what's an opinion, how to, determine the difference. what we just brought up a second ago. The third one, which was how to apply it to the situation.
Mm-hmm.
And the last one is just draw that conclusion.
Mm-hmm.
If it's a fact or opinion. Okay? That's a scary part because, again, like you said, you can be so passionate about if a person feels this way, how can you change it or not? You have to draw that hard conclusion.
Mm-hmm.
And again, we're gonna go back to something just a statement where people just brought something up, and you got to know, like, look, can that be refuted?
Right.
Can we just look at it in terms of this is just really passionate how this person feels about it, and there's no way around it. Is this something that we can use? Because when we make decisions off opinions,
Mm-hmm.
there are some strong consequences with that.
Yeah.
Because if we find out later on that there are other options and it's not true, it can be devastating.
Mm. All options should be explored.
Absolutely.
All options should be explored. No option should be off the table if it's a viable option. That's what you have to think about. All options that are viable should be on the table, because then if you don't try all options, then you don't know if you have the best option anyway.
The thing that and that's an awesome point.
Mm-hmm.
The issue that comes up is going back to what we were talking about earlier when we talk about options. People just stop at the surface.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't look in terms of let me dig and see what the other options are. One key point in this is, what we talked about earlier is knowing that, number one, is this something that I can just make a decision on right then and there with the information I have on hand? Do I have enough information in this conversation to make that determination if it's a fact or opinion? Or is this a situation like, bro, give me a week or so, or a couple of days, let me think on it, where you have to, be able to go back and decipher it. A lot of times people stop, don't take it that far because of pride, ego,
Right.
Don't want to seem incompetent, whatever. I'm like, no, you need to know now. You don't know? No, I don't.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of folks not confident in themselves to be honest with that, to say, hey, this is how I feel or whatever. Like, no, let me stop. Because, again, the consequences can be devastating if you're wrong. If you got this opportunity to go to this job, you might have to relocate, and I'm like, man, the weather over there, this, that, and that, and you're going to leave this, that, and that. And if you decide not to go, and that job was a great opportunity, you never get it, it can be devastating.
That's true.
One thing I want people to understand, in life, you're going to have 4 or 5 moments in your life that are like game-changing moments. And what I mean by that, those moments are going to come and never come again. Might be that special person, might be that job opportunity, might be that big time deal, need to relocate, just different things that they happen, and when you don't do it, if you do it or don't do it, it can just set you in a whole different situation in life.
Mm-hmm.
The issue that comes up with it when you have an opportunity like that, making that decision is terrifying most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
We talk about moving, getting married, or make somebody your boyfriend or girlfriend, or getting in this deal, leaving your job. It's scary as hell.
That's what I'm dealing with. Like,
yeah.
People say you got to put 110% in your business, and you need to quit your job in order to make sure that you're doing everything you can to make your business successful. And that's one of them things. You like, yeah, but they saying you got to quit your job, but they ain't saying how you gonna eat.
Well, that go back to the show we had before. I'm not a big proponent of leaving your job until what I look at it is that your job becomes that hindrance.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I always say when you're working on it and you're going at your pace, because you still got something called life, and you're working at your pace, and once it becomes like, look, this is overwhelming, my job kind of holding me up, and I know what I'm getting with this % of time I'm putting into my side thing or whatever. If I give in more, I can do it. But just me going off of impulse or emotion, hell no. I wouldn't do that and everything. So that was that. And plus, we talked before about when we started looking about, leaving jobs and stuff like that, just knowing realistically what I have to replace in terms of that, not necessarily your income, but more so those living expenses. But I understand that, and that's why I'm saying we're bringing up those um, those things that we can miss out on if we don't make those decisions. So, and those opinions that we have can keep us locked in, and people will scare the hell out of you in life. They don't mean no harm. Mm-hmm. Someone might be jealous at base. God knows I done experienced. I had some people say some stuff to me. Well, this like just negative, always negative about every damn thing you do.
Right.
Someone might be their fears or whatever. But when you let people do that, they will have your ass in a position you'll never take advantage of opportunities in life. And like I said again, some opportunities you'll never get again.
That's true.
Well, let me go back to school. I'm thinking about going back to school. Man, how the hell you gonna go back to school? You ain't, man, that's for them young boys.
Years old.
Yeah. Shit, you can be 40. And you sitting there like, why would you do this, that, and that, and this, that, and but if you don't go back to school and 2 or 3 years from that point and you never went, you still be in the same situation. Mm-hmm. You still didn't take care of school. And the question you got to ask yourself, which is super important, can you live with yourself 5, 10, 15 years by not making that decision to go with that, to take that opportunity if it don't work out, by you not taking it? Can you live with yourself? That's the question you got to ask yourself. If you can say, yeah, I ain't going to do it, and you can be honest with yourself, say, that if I don't do this, it don't work, I'm cool.
Right.
And most people ain't. That's why there's so many people that live life with, damn, I wish I had a this, that, and that. And that's a rough thing to look at. You see a person living with regret. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Now, you still can go through something and you can live with yourself if you look back and say, man, I tried it, but I could have gave a better effort. You can live with yourself with that, because at least you know what. You at least tried.
Right.
But when you don't even try nothing, that's the thing about it. And a lot of times it's because of how you felt or somebody else felt. And you really didn't even want to say, this is just an opinion.
Yeah, people don't realize how somebody else's opinion can change your whole mind and attitude. Like, you may be gung-ho, like you said earlier. You may be gung-ho about something like, yeah. And then you get that one little bug in your ear. Then you start going, well, yeah, you know what? I don't even know if I have enough time for that anyway. Or, you know what I'm saying? It's just.
I see it all the time. And, I go through it sometimes myself. We call it people like myself that overthink stuff. Analysis paralysis. Yeah. We're sitting there looking at shit so damn much instead of just like,
I have that bad.
totally overanalyzing something and everything, just saying shit, just go. Just do it. We'll figure it out. Mm-hmm. And I'm on both ends of the spectrum, because I'm a go-getter by nature, but then sometimes I do look at stuff a little too hard and then just say, look, man, let me just go on and take advantage of the opportunity. Mm-hmm. So that's what I want people to kind of be looking at when you are trying to decipher this kind of information, and when you take those kind of things to heart where you don't know for sure if it's a fact or not. Understand that the consequences of not doing it can hurt you a lot more than you're not even taking that chance. Okay. Now again, if you've done the research and you still can't tell, we're still gonna, like I said, we're gonna leave that being an opinion, because again, no matter how passionate we feel about something, just knowing that's just my opinion. And again, I know that kind of hurt a lot of folks' feelings and stuff like that, because like I said, we all have passionate stuff that we believe in that's right, but we still know, unless we can totally prove it, it's still our opinion. Right. Just like it is to everyone else's and stuff. And everybody's entitled to their opinion, but just be very conscious of it. If you in those same situation where you have blind influence on people and people are not going to question you and do what you say do, you got to be very careful of how that power you have over people. Especially with me being a red coach. I know a lot of folks blindly will follow Coach Burton without me saying in it, without questioning it or saying this, that, and that, because they trust me. There's a lot of power in that. And a lot of people misuse that, telling people to do certain things because they think it's right because of the influence you have on them. Right. So on the other hand of the stick, when we're talking about other people, if you're in the same positions, be very careful of that.
True.
And respect that power, because we have too many things going on now. I mean, you take the consideration what's going on with the kid with Jesse Smollett.
Yeah.
How he just said something, then so many people just saying, this is how we need to react. And not one person said, let's wait till we get all the facts.
Right.
Everybody went crazy. Everybody said this is a race or a hate race crime. This is a sexuality crime. LGBT. I know I ain't got the right damn terms, y'all. But shit, they got all their different crimes.
The point, right?
Exactly. But ain't nobody trying to clean shit up now saying.
Saying we were wrong.
Yeah, exactly. So everybody went real and said, okay, let me just find out what's going on and everything like that. And I get it. I understand the passion that comes from it because people go through so much stuff.
Right.
But when you're in a positions where you know that you're influential on people and people will run on your words, you got to be careful.
That's it.
You got to be careful. And a lot of times people don't want to say, well, hold on, y'all. Let's just find out. Let's get the information, gather some facts before we go and everything like that. People don't do that. Like I said again, the focus of this show is to get people to think. Mm-hmm. We want to get people out of being reactionary. Mm-hmm. That's the thing about it. Those are reactionary moves. When you see people do this and they do riots and stuff, we got to get out of that. We got to get people to thinking, processing, looking at stuff 2 or 3 different ways, and then making a decision after they've gathered the facts. And unfortunately, that's not what day and age we are in right now. So, just to recap everything, again, our show we were talking about, how the hell, we want to just go over those strategies in terms of how to decipher between a fact and an opinion. And I gave those four strategies in terms of, number one, with deciphering, practice active listening, where you're taking everything in. Next, process is where you getting the information that you're told and, how to apply it. Then the third thing, applying it to the situation. And fourth, drawing that conclusion if it's a fact and opinion. And most importantly, if you cannot determine truthfully, where it's not even refutable that it's a fact, leave it at being an opinion. Mm-hmm. Okay? Again, this is Deonte Burden. This show is changing lives. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the channel. You go to them videos. Make sure you hit that blue man in the bottom right-hand corner. Got a lot of videos. I think I looked at, I got like 50 videos up now, man.
Okay.
Just all this little BS I've been spitting out. And I actually talked to somebody today. They told me, hey, D, I seen your video. I didn't know that you didn't have to get the gap insurance with your car.
Yeah, see?
Like, yeah, okay. Okay.
See, that make you feel
good. Yeah,
hey,
okay, cool. See, I listen, okay, because I get it so much. I be listening to your show. I be like, yeah, all right, I ain't listening to that damn thing, and everything. But that made me feel pretty good, okay? The tip we got today is a quick business tip. I want to just tell everybody, look, we're at the beginning of the year. I know folks got tax refunds. They're starting out with certain everything. So, with different things and different ideas, we're having a business. And I'm seeing right now, just even with tax season coming up, people are saying, I got a business, I do certain things. I want to stress to everybody, make sure you get your business legitimized, because too many times people saying, I got a business and everything like that. But that business is nothing but a damn idea. Because legally, there is no business.
There is no business.
Yeah. I tell people sometimes sit in my office, man, that business is about legit that damn pencil sitting in front of you. And so we will start in April. In the end of April, we're going to be reeling out the webinars and the courses in terms of how to start your business, the legitimate actions and things and process you need to take with starting your business. So be on the lookout with that. Probably a couple weeks prior to proper rolling everything out, we will do a big push in terms of the videos and also talk about it a lot more on the show. So I want everybody to be kind of tuning in. We will have those courses out. But, in terms of, just getting your business legitimate, make sure you have an entity already set up, say it be a C Corp, a S Corp, LLC. You've registered with your local municipality from the state, the county, the city, or whatever. You have that stuff registered already, aka your business license. You got the accounts that you need in terms of having a checking account, saving account, certain credit card accounts. You got all that stuff established. You have done some kind of planning, some kind of strategic stuff, or mapped out some kind of blueprint that you want to go in the direction of your business. Make sure you got all that stuff taken care of. Mm-hmm. And if you don't know what to do, please come visit us at Majestic Business Services. Well, listen, we've been in business 17 years. I do this for a living. I got a very, very strong passion about entrepreneurship and people being successful. So if it's something that you're not for sure of, hear me out. Google is great, and Google has a lot of information on there, but some stuff you don't need to damn play with. Mm-hmm. And we talked about that the other day, those Google contracts where you got out full of loopholes. The person, they sick and got the big skin with a big knot on their neck, and they going to WebMD and everything.
And it say put ice on it, but you got damn cancer.
Sure, man. You hope it's your cancer.
I know, right?
Cancer might be worse than that. But we really want people to seek out professionals, seek out good help. I mean, I prefer you come to me, and I know the professionalism and the care we're gonna take care of you. But at least go to somebody. Don't cut in the corners. And I'm the owner of Majestic Business Services. We're on the web at www.majesticbiz.com. Like I was telling the person earlier, in terms of just consulting, go by the website, list all the services of what we do, and you'll also see the scheduling. You can hit on this book an appointment if you want to get consulting, tax preparation. All that stuff is there, so you can go online, book your appointment. The calendar is there. Book your what day, time, what service. Let us know exactly what you want. We got all kind of ways to get you squared away. We can hold your hand. We hold your hand through the whole process, from the idea to the inception of getting it created, going through the process while you getting legitimized, and even after you got the business started, just following up with us every so often just to make sure you're on the right track. Pretty much a one-stop shop for small businesses. Tell you everything you need to do. So now you're not sitting here hoping and talking to your dang friends who don't know any damn more than you do. That's one of the biggest things that I think hurting a lot of businesses right now. People not being very proactive in terms of getting everything taken care of. Again, we're going to speak on it again. We're a reactive society. We're going to try to do something. We're going to pray on it, hope on it, think on it, whatever. But we're not going to just be proactive, putting the proper stuff in place for us to be successful. So please, please, please come to us or come to somebody. But come to us, I can guarantee you, the service you're going to get. But at least please get some kind of help. But if you need to get in contact with me further, again, go by the website, www.majesticbiz.com, or give us a call at 678-479-4007. Again, that's 678-479-4007. And our show, again, our channel rather is Deonte Burden, hosting Changing Lives. And a topic we've talked about tonight has been how the hell and based on how to decipher facts and opinions. We're coming on the home stretch, people, and I wanted to talk about something that was kind of happened a couple weeks ago, and but we didn't really hit on it, and it's just ethics. And I know a lot of time, a lot of you seen what happened with Monique and Steve Harvey, and they had that heated discussion in terms of she was saying certain things she didn't do, and he was telling her certain things she felt she should have done, and everything. The thing that kind of rubbed me the wrong way, and some of the stuff I understood what she said, and I understand some of the stuff that she said, but I will say this: you can make money all kind of ways. You can go out here and prostitute yourself. You can sell dope. You can go rob folks. You can do all kind of stuff and have a reason why you justify doing it. You can justify any damn thing you in your own space.
And people doing that are justifying.
Exactly. We're going, and that's based on our story, the fact of opinion. So in your mind, that's your opinion that it was right. You can do it. But when we start talking about ethically, well, we sit there and know, okay, listen, your opinion is your opinion, but being able to look in the mirror and get up and walk with your chest out, and your family being proud of you, knowing that, hey, you didn't cut no corners, you didn't do nothing against their name or something that had them embarrassed, that's a whole different animal. The thing that kind of rubbed me the wrong way, I understood what Steve Harvey was saying in terms of his family can suffer, they can all this, that, and that. Yeah, I get that, but I don't think your family going to suffer because they missed out on $1 million.
I don't think so either.
And especially as a man, there's certain things you just can't do. And it's not about pride from a sense that you didn't get your way. We're talking about just pride of being a man. Now, I understand what he was saying in terms of her. You can't handle stuff in a certain way and then, come back to them same people and want them to do business with you. You done said something to them, and they go back to even start talking about the base entrepreneurship. You can't. If you know folk gonna do you wrong, shit, you don't need to keep on asking them. Do your own thing. And you can't be sitting here trying to protest folks that ain't gonna do you right. Shit, just don't do business with them.
Exactly.
Why would I be arguing with somebody that don't know my value? They don't care any damn way. So why am I gonna be complaining about they not dealing with, do my own thing, leave. But to hear the man say, you know, we black and you know we can't move that way and stuff like that. Totally lost it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. I didn't really hear his whole conversation. Him, Monique, and his conversation. I heard that part, and I just heard that part. I was like, "What do you mean by that? Just because I'm black, I can't move a certain way. I can move any way I choose to move. If I'm willing to accept the consequences of how I move, that's my business.
Mm-hmm.
But just because I'm black doesn't mean I can't move anyway. I can move just as much any way that anyone else can move.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't get what he was saying by that, and it kind of threw me off. And I probably should have asked somebody because I was a little upset because it was saying that we are limited in what we can do and how we can do it because we are black. That's how I took it.
Well, the interpretation that I got from it was more so that if you don't play a certain game,
Mm-hmm.
certain doors are gonna be closed,
Mm-hmm.
and when them doors are closed, you're gonna miss out on certain opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
The fundamental question to ask yourself: are those opportunities worth you compromising your integrity?
Exactly. Okay.
And you know, I think when you look at some of those older movies with Louis Armstrong and some of them other guys that they did a lot of breakthrough stuff for people to have opportunities now. And we can look at it from one lens and say they were samboing or jigabooing on certain things, but those were the only opportunities that they had. Even then, I don't even necessarily know if they were able to even start their own.
Mm-hmm. Now, some of them did, but at the same time, you can't look at those things back then and apply it to things as now, because back then, you could lose your life if you did certain things.
Exactly.
It's not the same way applied to now. Back then, you could. I'm gonna give you. Give you a good example. Now I can walk down the street and look a white man directly in his eye and dare him to say something to me. Back then, they couldn't do that. You get what I'm saying? It's
absolutely.
It's certain things that you can apply to certain things, and it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
But in earlier times when people were kicking down the door in order for you to be able to say what you're saying on this couch while you're making $4 or $5 million a year, those things they had to do in order for you to sit on this couch and say some things you can't do.
Exactly. Well, that was my point.
Uh-huh.
Some of that stuff, like you said, were able to get opportunities. Some of them were survival techniques. The thing of it is, you don't have to compromise yourself to do that now.
Yeah.
Now, again, when you decide, look, I'm not going to tolerate that, it may take me out of opportunity where I can have a broader audience and I can't make a 50 million, but I can just go to this segment and only make 10 million. Okay, I can live with that. But to sit here and compromise yourself, I don't think that's worth it. And and that's Deonte's opinion. But Deonte, again, that's one of my strong opinions that I believe to be a fact. And I will push any way that will compromise me as being a man to have to settle for something, that could challenge my reputation or my name.
You have to be willing to give it up in order to keep your integrity for it. Because if you're not willing to give it up and your integrity is challenged, then there's people can do and say anything to you because you're gonna be trying to do whatever you can to keep whatever you have going. No matter what they say or do to you, you might get a little scuffy in the interim, but you still gonna do as they say and do because you want to keep that going. You have to be willing to give up everything that you have in order to keep your integrity and morals in place, because people have to be able to see that. Well, he ain't gonna compromise. He willing to quit. I'm gonna give you a good example, and I don't know. Nobody really knows Dave Chappelle's story as to why he didn't take the $50 million, but he walked away from $50 million.
Yeah,
he was like, so.
Well, they're going to that point. It's hard for me to kind of listen to a man I know a millionaire telling me he gonna mess up his legacy and loot it. Come on, man. My family can suffer. No, your family. They may not have that $40, $50 million, but they ain't gonna suffer unless you just done boogered all this money up. But what your family is not gonna look at videos later on, sitting you saying that, hey, we can't do this, we can't do that. That's more impactful to me. Them seeing you say some shit like that than you leaving them all this money. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's one of the things I think we all need to focus on. Don't compromise your integrity.
No.
Money gonna come and go. People gonna come and go, but your name, your family, your reputation will live way after you gone. So I just want people to kind of think about that.
A lot of people need to hear that. It's a lot of people in the entertainment and a lot of people in a lot of things doing a lot of things that need to hear the fact that they should not jeopardize their, integrity for money, especially for money.
They do it for money, and then they forget what they've done and try to talk about it and not understand it because, like I said again, stuff you did a couple years ago, it's still there. And the impact is still there. Exactly. So you can't forget that. So I hope that reached a couple of you guys, or a lot of you guys rather. And I hope you enjoyed the show also tonight. Again, this is Deonte Burden, our show Changing Lives. I appreciate all you guys that tuned in. Look forward to talking to you guys next week. Got an awesome show planned for next week. But make sure you please go to the YouTube channel, Changing Lives, hosted by me, Deonte Burden. Make sure you subscribe to it. Hit the blue man in the bottom right corner of all the videos. Let your friends know, and feel free to leave any kind of comments that you may have. Take care, everyone. Love you guys. And